my god, there's no smiling for this thumbnail. There was no smiling at all for this thumbnail. Like, don't even try. Okay, so it's Monday. I mentioned last week that like my new plan for a lot of my live streams. Yeah, I need to shave. For a lot of my live streams, is this going to be me live streaming when I'm working, like on my podcast. So ever since May 16th, I want to say ever since May 16th, the middle of May, I have pretty much gotten up every morning and recorded a podcast. So today, Monday morning, I'm starting out not really kind of knowing like, well, not that I don't know what to do with myself. It's just now that habit, we finalizing that, and now I need to do something new with myself every morning. So this morning I was like when I opened up this iPad, you're on an iPad right now. I was like, okay, Anchor Radio, gonna record my podcast, and I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Look at my morning face. I was like, no, you're not. I was like, it's time to start editing, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like 100 and how many podcasts did I do? A lot. 100 and a lot of podcasts. Now I have to go back and edit. So thanks for hanging out. If you're watching the replay, you'll hear me talking, but it's going to be a past version of myself talking today from May 16th, episode 001, Relationship Rescue. So I don't even want to go there. I'll be honest with myself. Because now, how many months later, yeah, I still don't want to talk about it. So I'm just gonna be live streaming all the time. Right over here is my laptop, and I'll have to be editing up the descriptions, listening for like when I see that I've talked about either an oracle deck or a book or something that I should be crediting. I'm gonna try to at least write it down, if not with a link. What else do I need to put in my descriptions? Maybe a link to my Patreon page. I don't know. What else do I need to put in here? See, that's what I mean. I have to actually think. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, and you know what else I need to do today? I need to make another YouTube channel. No, I need to make another YouTube video for my singing monsters because last night I posted this is me deleting everybody from my tribal island, and now today I need to make the video this is me adding 30 new people to my tribal island. So yeah, after you slay everybody, then you need to rebuild your tribe. So actually that's a big message for the collective that I see rolling in, is that the soul tribe, calling in your soul tribe, your soul family, your soul tribe is expanding. Even people who you didn't think you were going to connect with or wake up, they're doing it. Okay, so do you guys have a mouse? And does your mouse get this gross stuff on the bottom? Anyways, it's going to be fun live streaming with me. I'm not going to talk the whole time because, like I said, we're going to be listening to me on an old podcast. So I'll probably comment more in the chat. If somebody says something, I'll just, instead of talking, I'll see if I can type and listen at myself at the same time. I need a new battery. I'm blinking red. It's a normal mouse. Filthy. All mouses be dirty. All right, so I need a new battery. I have a wireless. I think it takes 2 batteries. So yeah, anyways, how's everybody doing? So I don't know if you'll enjoy listening to my podcast with me. I know I say embarrassing things about myself. That's why I'm hesitating to even get started here. Like, I know for like a dozen of them, I only need 1 battery. I know for a dozen of them, I was like no holds barred. Not I didn't hold back at all, dishing out the dirt in my life. Did I put that in wrong? I'm getting now. There's no life in my battery. Maybe it's upside down. So yeah, I'm a little bit like, oh, do I really want to revisit my past self? Like, think about who you were back in May. Oh, it makes such a difference if you put it in the right way. Think about who you were back in May. Do you really want to hang out with that person? So, I hope that works. My son gives me all his old batteries. Like, he has a really good mouse, like a gaming mouse, and like once it's like under a certain percentage, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want that battery. Like, it's not good enough, but it's actually good enough for me. Where'd my other pages go? Sadie Marie. All right, so anyways, computers. By the way, I don't enjoy working with them. I just had my page loaded with my login information. It didn't save it when I accidentally closed it. So anyways, that sucks. All right, let's see here. So yeah, also if you're young, you can't stay because I swear in my podcast. Not a lot, but like every once in a while I drop an F-bomb shamelessly, like real bad. Son of a gun. And I don't normally do that on my YouTube channel. And like every time I log into YouTube now, it's like, is your videos intended for children? Like, not really, but they still show up. No, but that don't stop them from being here. So I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do with whatever settings they're asking of me. Like, YouTube, you are not my favorite person in the world. Leave me alone. All right, MSS. Let's see here. My gosh. So anyways, there we are. We're in. Okay, so now over here to the left of this iPad, this is how I'm surrounded by technology. No wonder I'm grumpy. Over here, I have an old iPad with Herb Oracle loaded on Apple Tunes or iTunes or Apple Podcasts, and that's that. So, anyways, pretty boring, but that's okay. I'm not gonna give myself permission to do that. Just to be boring. I'm gonna also put this over here. Try to make space for myself. I'm in a corner. I feel very like trapped. But that's what I had to do to make room for everything here. Okay, so anyways, feel free to hang out, and we're going to listen to Herb Oracle episode 001. Also, I need to make a My Singing Monster video. I don't know if I'll do that. I might as well do that live streaming too. Also, I need to get a tissue. Also, I need to bring up, well, let me see here. I'm just going to put live chat here. So I figured out how to do this the other day. Good morning, Kathy. I didn't know you were here. Good morning, Dinero. So anyways, we're just going to hang out, listen to episode 001, see what we think. You're more than welcome to keep me in the background as background noise. I can definitely be background noise. If we have comments on what was talked about. See, the reason I'm dragging my feet is, so I started doing Herb Oracle for my soul, pretty much. Like, my husband and I we were just in a bad place. I knew it. I had just had my birthday. So my birthday is May 4th. I would have just turned 41. I totally knew that the tower was crumbling in my life. and I knew I needed something to do, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start another podcast. I'm gonna do this podcast with botanical divination, getting some like because I had all these botanical decks. So I was like, you know what? We'll just use botanical decks and get messages. Well, the very first freaking episode, my cards did what they do. And what do my cards do for me? They embarrass me all the time. All the freaking time. So the very first episode, my cards were like, guess what? Guess what we're talking about? Your dysfunctional relationship. So it was like I can't hide from myself. That's what I learned right off the bat. I cannot hide from myself because I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this nice podcast. We're gonna talk about plants, and then right away the cards are like, actually, we're gonna talk about all your embarrassing shit. So that's why I'm dragging my feet to get the first one started because I'm like a little nervous to actually hear from May until like the end of July. I'm nervous for all of those episodes because I was sad, I was angry, I was frustrated, I was desperate, I was like, just what the heck, and I was super honest. Super honest. So, anyways, that's what we're going to listen to while I update the edit notes, and then I'm going to do that like 100 plus more other times for all the other episodes. So if you see me working for Herb Oracle, I'm just going to be in my corner. It's not like my normal live streams, but I still send you love and all that. So let's, I'll play the ad and the intro while I go get a snot rag. So this is 001. Oh, and I got to see if it's loud enough here.
Shout out to my sponsor. What's up, Anchor Radio? Anchor is a free app that you can download today to start a podcast of your own. Yep, it's absolutely free and it makes podcasting super easy. You can make a little money from your podcast. You have everything you need to make a podcast in one place, and then Anchor will distribute your podcast for you all over the place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Yay!
Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We're doing it. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Hey, so how about a morning show? So I am tickled that I'm still young enough that if I have an inspired idea come to me, like if like just all of a sudden at the drop of the dime, or if you're sitting on the toilet like I was, just all of a sudden I was dropping something else. If you just have this idea come to you and you're just like, yes, this is an inspired idea. What is inspiration? Inspiration is being in spirit, right? Allowing these ideas and energies to come to us that are not maybe necessarily ours, probably from our higher self or whoever self, but they're good. The ideas are good. And the idea was to do a morning show. Now, it just didn't come like out of the blue because I had sort of been, I guess, now looking back, asking in a way because I felt like I needed to do something on a daily basis to get my creative juices flowing. So I was sort of asking that. I wanted to be excited about something, and I also had this other notice. I was noticing that I wasn't using my oracle cards like I used to. So I guess looking back, 1 + 1 + 1 equals a morning show. So good morning. I hope you're doing well. Um, it is going to be super laid back. I have no plan for this show except that we're going to pull some cards, get a few messages, and just hang out. We're going to shoot the shiitake. Um, I have a podcast, and I'm betting you know about it. That's how you heard about this one. It's called Herbal Marie. I love Herbal Marie. I'm so proud of that podcast, but it takes a lot of work. Like, everything takes research and planning and organization. Even my most simple to my audience probably podcasts, like ones that seem to be real easy, still take some work. So in between my podcast there, this is going to be my podcast that we're just getting spiritual-ish. Yeah, because we are all spirit. I think we all know that at this point. So, all right. So I have 2 drawers full of oracle decks. I mean, I have like decks on decks on decks. But for this podcast, I am going to focus mainly on my botanical decks. Like I do for my Instagram at Herb Oracle. And I'll post any card that I pull today. I'll probably have a little photo, show and tell at Herb Oracle. Okay, so just plug that once, know that. But I focus on my botanical decks, the decks that have to do with herbs and plants and trees. Sometimes there's animals in them, but those are the ones that I'm going to mainly pull from here. Not that, like, I might be called to dip into other decks, and so if that happens, great, I'm going to follow that. But I have a lot of plant decks. Yeah, I'm like smiling big because they make me so happy. I know I'm not supposed to put too many idols in the world. Don't be worshiping the material, but if you are going to worship something in the physical realm, like oracle decks are pretty cool, and tarot. So I'm enjoying the tarot podcast that we do at Herbal Marie. I have the Empress looking at me this week. She's on a little stand. That'll be the next one with Dong Quai. But yeah, so anyways, welcome, welcome, welcome. I've got my Divine Temple incense burning beside me. I've got a mug of dandelion root tea that's way too hot to drink, and a glass of water. Later on today, I'm going to be drinking some stinging nettle juice that I have made up. I made up last night. So stay hydrated. Okay. I love not having a plan. What's your intentions for the day?
Yeah, and I had like no
really
plan.
Good to start the day off with intentions. Before we even grab any cards, let me just focus in here and think about what my intentions are. To enjoy myself, to get messages, to have fun, to connect, to help uplift anyone who needs it. That's always my intention. And yeah, just to, of course, like I have said at least 52 times in Herbal Marie, to feel better and be well. We always want to keep our vibe up. Really, that's the place to be. You kind of like get yourself in this energetic, elevated state, and you're kind of untouchable there from all types of disease and unwellness and even bad vibes. So keep your vibe up, and you'll be much happier. All right, so let's get a card. I always know it's time for me to pull a card when I start running out of my own words. I love oracle cards. I've been pulling them for other people for years. So this is really, really fun for me to do. So right away, I'm gonna bring out a deck called Oracle of the Essences. And this is gonna be an easy choice for me because this is my newest deck. I just got this for my birthday from my hubster. Thank you so much. It was actually a little late because it came the whole way from Australia. So even though he ordered it like 2 months, he says 2 months before my birthday, it was still late. So it's Oracle of the Essences. And it is from a really awesome lady called Monica the Enchantress. She does have a website, theenchantress.com.au. So these are all about essences, essential oils. I love essential oils. I always have for, medicinal properties, but definitely emotional properties. So now at this point in my life, to bring in the essences in a spiritual type of way just makes sense. They've got messages just like all the herbs do, just like all the trees and all the other elementals. You can learn a lot from a rock. So anyways, let's get started. Open up this brand new deck. We'll get ourselves a message. And yeah, like I said, I'll take pictures of these. I'll put links in the descriptions if I talk about anything interesting. I do have some definitely interesting things to talk about in the way of books that I've been reading. I don't know if we can work that in, but the one that I'm reading now, a book that I'm reading now that I keep like reading in the corner, like so nobody can see the cover of it because I'm just not sure if I want people to know that I'm reading this book. It's called, let me grab it here. It's called Making Love to God. Yeah, like I swear to God, that's what it's called. So I'm reading a book, Making Love to God. It's some pretty weird shit, but not really. So it's Making Love to God, The Path to Divine Sex, and it's from Tina Louise Spalding. It's a channeled message from Ananda. So, well, how did I get started on this? Well, I'm using one of these cards as a bookmark for this book. But this book, I feel, has changed my life in 124 pages. That's what page I'm on, 124. It is very quite interesting. And I'll put a link to this book so you can see what I'm talking about. But I have come across this woman called Tina Louise Spalding. And every so often you just meet somebody. I'm going to shuffle these cards while I'm talking. Every once in a while you just meet somebody that helps you go up a notch, right? Okay, so let's get a first card here while I'm blabbing. Okay, there's our first card. I'm going to put it face down. Yeah, so this Tina Louise Spalding, Making Love to God, like that's not the kind of book that like you want to take to the cafe and be like, holding it up in front of your face, like reading to your heart's content. But coincidentally, like it has captivated me and I am reading it, like I'm devouring it. It is so wise. It hasn't even really talked about like sex so much. It's talking about the things that are precursors that are so important within you. And this is like with or without a partner. So I highly recommend this book. I'll say more about it when I finish it. And then she's got 5 other books. Oh yeah, that's part of the story that I forgot to tell you. She has 5 other books, which I'm more drawn to than this book. But it was encouraged highly that I read them in order. And I was like, okay. And but then whenever I saw that was the first one, I was like, ugh, really? Because that would have been the one that I would have probably skipped over. All right, here's our first card, you guys. So the back of these cards have this beautiful botanical illustration. It's so gorgeous. And the card, oh my God, this is hilarious. The card that I pulled is Manuka. I don't know if I'm going to say that right. I thought this was a type of honey, but we'll see. Manuka. And what's so funny about it is that it's a man and a woman embracing and giving each other a kiss. So as I'm reading a book and talking to you about a book called Making Love to God, getting yourself on the path to divine sex, we pull a card with lovers on it. So this is all about rescue and confrontation, though. These flowers are beautiful little 5-petaled white. They kind of remind me of an apple blossom. And these are like kind of almost look like tribal. It looks like a tribal couple. He has tribal paint on his face a little bit, and they both have long black hair and kind of have like a half ponytail bun. They're cute, and yeah, they're getting ready to. They got their lips puckered. So, but it's about rescue and confrontation. So I think we might be having a relationship message today, which would be great for me. How about you? Anyone else feeling like they need rescued or have a confrontation lately? It happens. It really, really does. So the wise words that we're going to start off from this card is be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for it. So that's an awesome quote by Ziad Abdelnour. So Manuka is a powerful antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antiviral. Some people say that it might even be more powerful than tea tree. So dang. However, they both have their place in the emotional, physical, and mental states. Okay, so this is an awesome guidebook, you guys. So I'm just gonna, since I don't know this oil very well, I want to learn about it. Still gonna be a nerd on here a little bit, just a touch of nerdiness. Disclaim out the wazoo. Do your own research. Okay, and it is through the Maori people in New Zealand. That's where it originates, and it has lots of medicinal properties. It's powerful, and yeah, it's definitely a resilient essence. Okay, so this card is all about, if it comes to us in a reading, which it has, it's time for you to allow another to carry you for a time. So this is a message about allowing yourself to give someone else the opportunity to support you. Allow yourself to fall into a dance of receiving while someone else takes charge. Okay, so this is a card that if you feel like you've been doing it on your own, because you have been, just know that you can't possibly do it all on your own. And at the end of the day, we were created equally to support and help each other. So allow that to happen. So I know personally, I have witnessed in my own relationship, you know, sometimes one person feels like they do way more than the other one. And ironically enough, sometimes both people hold that opinion, and then you're like, well, who really does more then? Because you both think that you do. So this is a message, though, that if you have been just taking care of everybody else, or feeling like you are on your own, well, why don't you allow someone else to help? Why don't you allow that in? Because to be quite honest, some people are shitty receivers, like on a lot of levels. They don't open up their intuition. They don't open up their hearts. They don't allow people to help them. They're like, I can do it myself, right? I can do it myself. Or they just don't even think to ask for help. Here's another case, because they just have done it. Like, they're just so used to doing everything that it doesn't even cross their mind to ask for help. But this is a great card to, an affirmation could be, I can be powerful and ask for help at the same time. It doesn't make you weaker to ask for help. And Manuka will fight for you more than any other essence. So it says that the Manuka personality is in the positive state. When it's being positive, this will help you have peace of mind, right? And trust the process of life, right? But this oil also helps you cope with harsh environments. Whew. So, and it also says that it's an ideal nursery crop that provides shelter to more sensitive plants. That's really interesting too. It's just protective. And that was the whole message of this card: rescue and confrontation. It's a very nurturing essence and provides support and shelter to the weak. It's also related to the heart chakra. Okay, so we're starting off with a couple here. This is a relationship message. This doesn't have to be intimate. This can be friends, family, but there are just times in life that we do get run down, we do get tired, and we could use somebody to help, give us a hand, right? Somebody who actually wants to support with no strings attached, right? Like, don't just, isn't it awful, like, when someone like your mom or whatever, like, you're like, dang it, they're just helping me because they think they have to, but I don't even know if they want to. Or if it's like a lover that you're like, yeah, I'd love for you to help me, but then, like, there's so many stinking strings attached, you're just like, no thanks. So this is our ally coming through to rescue us and, to help us. And I love that. I want to pull another card because I want to just see what else we can come through here. So let me shuffle these. So if you need help, ask for it. If you suck at receiving, do your best to allow it in. Can I get another card to just kind of, let's see where we're going with this. Okay, so we got Siberian fir, which this is a rising above challenges. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely a relationship that's having its challenges. You guys, this is my marriage. Siberian fir, we see like a nobleman, like kind of like looking like he's either in the Alps, but he's kind of British, and he's riding this quarter horse, I guess, and he's standing by two Siberian fir trees and looking out, probably early morning sunrise because it's got these pastel colors over the mountains. So this is all about rising above challenges. This is how I felt this morning. Like, here I am, not a morning person, and I'm awake and I'm happy and I'm looking forward to talking with you and having our morning show. And that's how I felt, like we're rising above challenges. Now, on the bottom of the deck, I couldn't not see it. We have fennel. Fennel is all about intensity and overpowering. So I'm going to honor that card too, because this guy, he's sitting on his throne, and he's got his finger pointed up in the air. And even though it's very like authoritative and confident and sure, when it comes in this layout, as I'm looking at these cards, this is all about one person being more overpowering or dominant. And this really is not giving me a sense that this relationship has good balance or harmony or cooperation or respect. Like, yo, I hope our next card is a solution for sure. But let's just dive in. Right, like as you look at these cards, you're like, dang, like first we got the Lovers, but it's coming in that rising above challenges. Why? Because there's just been some energy that's been overpowering. And yeah, it's just not balanced. It just doesn't feel very balanced to me. So the Siberian fir card, and overcoming challenges is good. It's good. It's great to get into that place of harmony. It's great to better yourself, and it's even better to work together as a team and a couple with all the relationships in your life. So, okay, so Siberian fir, it's super remarkable because it grows at extreme elevation. So he is in the mountains, and it can survive like negative 50 degrees Celsius. It can survive these extreme conditions. It's also really good for clearing the sinuses and, helping clear stress. But when it comes to us in a reading, It means that we're faced with a transition to make. Okay, we got to knock off the procrastination. That has to come to an end. So, this is all about finishing the task or just letting it go completely, right? So, finish the task or let it go completely and go back to your old ways. But if you finish the task, it can open you up to new possibilities. So this kind of makes me think about us getting out of our own way, breaking old mindsets, right? These belief patterns that keep us um, kind of stagnant and frozen. Yeah. Um, because when we focus on the problems, it just freezes us up. We're not bringing in energy, we're not moving, we are just frozen when we're focused on the problems. Yeah. So, this affirmation for the Siberian fir, it says, challenges excite and motivate me. Like air, I rise above them. Woo, that is huge because a lot of times in our relationships, okay, I'm just going to tell you guys can just only focus on problems, right? Me too. And what does that do? A lot of times that puts us in victim mode. Like, oh, they do this to me. He does that to me. She always does that. She don't listen. And then, bam, you're in victim mode. So, fir doesn't get stuck in a victim mindset, right? Because fir takes charge of actions, right? This is a very strong and focused feeling card. So there is a decision to make. You need to line up with it, make it quickly, accept the challenge, rise above it, jump above it, just get above it any way you need to, and get on your damn horse and leave behind all excuses. Whether that's just admitting to yourself that this relationship, this confrontation is, you have played a part in it, and that part has simply been you've been focusing on problems. You have been complaining instead of complimenting. You have been judging instead of appreciating. And that in itself will create a problem, right? That in itself creates strife and creates friction, and that creates an unbalance, and it's just like this energetic attraction that you're just going to pull in the negative aspects of the relationship. I mean, that's fine, that's how we learn, but we also aren't happy sometimes. So anyways, let's see what Fennel has to say, because I feel like that explains the problem more. Like, what has been the problem? Well, I mean, it's just this overpowering, thing going on. So, or maybe you've been overpowering. Okay, that makes actually more sense, because the Manuka card was all about like you trying to do everything yourself, right? And so you've been the overpowering one. So let's see here. Fennel. Okay, the wise words are from Dr. Seuss, who said, you have to be odd to be number one. So funny. So Fennel is really eccentric, fun, and patient. It's very open-minded when it's in a good mood. When Fennel is on the positive aspect of the essence, the life dial will be turned to exciting mode, feeling that there's nothing that cannot be handled. So this is connected to the solar plexus chakra. Fennel is a really small seed, but has big flavor. And the Fennel personality will definitely not pass unnoticed. Isn't it so good in the Tom's of Maine toothpaste? Like, Fennel is awesome. Okay, but there is a negative side to Fennel, and that is controlling and overpowering, and expressing their self-esteem issues by degrading others. Oh, and that's like toxic in a relationship. If one person has a lower self-esteem, it's they just I don't even think they realize it, but they put the other person down. They certainly don't help lift the other person up. And, to be honest, if someone does not have self esteem, they don't want you to be happy. They really don't. They may not admit to this consciously, but low self esteem is so destructive, not just to the person who has it, but yeah, it's just kind of an icky feeling to be around. So, fennel can be so self absorbed sometimes that it will become blocked and isolated. So, this relationship definitely, the flow has stopped, right? Both people feel like they're doing it alone, and whew, it really is a call to action that something needs to change, something needs to happen. Just to nerd out for a minute, fennel is amazing for the stomach. And when you smell it or drink the tea, it can help with feelings of rejection. Or if you do have that low self esteem and feel inferior, fennel might be a really good energy for you to connect with. Fennel likes to be the one that advises, because this could be, you know how the game is played, you know the rules, and you like looking for solutions. So, okay, now we have lots of energy moving in this spread. Yeah, there was a little bit of a confrontation. This relationship needs rescued. We need to rise above the challenges, but that means we need to get moving. We don't want to freeze. We're not Siberian furs, okay? like relationships can't be left out in the cold. They're not a Siberian fur. We need to get some warmth in there. We need to get some focus, right? That solar plexus chakra. We need to use our will and make intentions and say what we want and be solution oriented, not problem oriented. So the divination meaning for this fennel card is you can see fennel like a person of authority, as though about to give someone a verdict. Yeah, like when I'm looking at this card, he's got his finger pointed in the air. And like, I don't know if he's like telling me to go straight up to my bedroom, like, you're grounded. Or what? Like, but it is super powerful. Like, you know, I can't wait for you to see the card. This card comes to you in a reading. If it does, you should assess the situations in your life in which you have been enforcing too much control. So this is a card that encourages you to let go of power and let the situation unfold normally. So that's kind of good too. You have a little problem in your relationship. Sometimes if you would just let it, like, instead of trying to force it to be better, or force, like, we got to figure this out right now, right? How about just let it kind of unfold naturally? And this card asks, what have you been putting so much effort into that is still unproductive and frustrating? So is this a point in this relationship that it's like, wow, how much more energy can I put in this? And it's just not moving. It's just so rigid and just not helping. Well, fennel has an affirmation for us. It says, I will trust my process and I will celebrate my progress. So I will trust my process and celebrate my progress. Yes. Trust the process, celebrate the progress, and enjoy flexibility in every aspect of my life. Okay, so we gotta loosen up. We gotta start. Makes me want to stretch. Yeah, let me take a quick break. I was gonna say eat some brekkie. I've been watching too many Australian van life videos. Um, I should take a quick break and do some stretches, because if our relationships and our life needs more flexibility, a good place to start is in your body, because we're all connected, and our mental is connected to our physical. So if we need more flexibility within our relationship, make sure you're taking care of your body to support that. But what I feel like needs to come in next, I need a drink. I'm not going to eat brekkie. I feel like next we need to have our solution, like for real. So this might end up being a 5-card spread. We'll have the three problems. Not that they're problems, but this definitely has given us I can relate. Well, this is my podcast, you guys. I guess these cards are just going to be all about me until you download the Anchor app and call in with a question. Will that ever happen? I don't know. But yeah, I can definitely relate. So now I'm going to just clear this deck. Right, I want to clear it of the problems. We're super aware now of the problem. Got it, noted, check. Now let's get that solution focus. Let's get that done. So I'm going within, and I'm connecting to that energy within me. That genuine place that's yes, I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to allow guidance to come in, to shine the light on the solution, and to really okay, we're done bitching. We're done focusing on problems. We are done feeding the negativity. We got the light wolf, we got the dark wolf. If we have been focusing on the problems, we are feeding the dark wolf, and we're feeding basically the destruction of our relationship. So you either grow up, grow together, or you grow apart, right? So let's give this deck another shuffle, last shuffle. I don't want to keep you all day. It's a morning show. Solution, please. All right. So I'm gonna go. I'm not even gonna look. Putting the top one down and the bottom. And I'm gonna put the deck away. like deck in box in drawer. We're gonna stop here because I know our answer is waiting for us. I'm staring at the cards. I'm a little bit nervous. Let's drink our dandelion tea real quick, and then we'll get our solution. Okay. Dandelion tea down, check. Still have a little bit of the Divine Temple incense burning, so we're doing good here on time. I was shooting for a 7 a.m. Eastern time publish for this podcast, but I'm cool with 7:30. All right, so I did not peek at the cards, you guys. I would never do that. But hopefully I've pulled the solution to this relationship rescue. Oh my gosh, maybe that'll be the title of this podcast. I'm not titling these podcasts until after the podcast because I just don't know what I'm going to be talking about each day. I am going to leave it up to my cards and to what we're asking for. Okay, here we go. The first card is Litzia, and I'm going to pull both of them up. And Tea Tree Maleluca. Maleluca? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Okay, so I did put these down, both upside down. Whether, I'm going to turn them right side up, okay, for sure, because that's our solution. But I did see them first upside down, so if you're listening, just know that I'll put them right side up in the picture. But to me, that says, okay, this may not be easy. Yikes. Yeah, that's what this says to me. Like, this may not be so easy. Okay. It's going to require a little bit of our work. Like, if we're going to turn this ship around, you know, because we don't want the boat to sink, we are going to have to put in some effort. Okay, so Litsea is a card about expectations and empathy. And Malelukai, which I would just call that tea tree, is about protection and adversity. All right, so right away, before I even refer to this awesome guidebook, The Oracle of the Essences, I just want to say that, you know, the tea tree card is all about, and it's Maleluka. Maleluka? Come on, Australian friends, I might need some coaching here with some of these names because I may have said 3 things wrong already. But this is about clearing our circle. Okay, so it is an Aboriginal man. He's standing in front of this really brightly colored Aboriginal backdrop. It's got oranges, reds, and yellows. Okay, so this is all about the first 3 chakras, absolutely. And this card has a snake in it and a spider, and it's about clearing out our circle. Like, if this is a negative relationship, I feel like Maleluka is coming in as part of the solution to say, like, yo, like, there is a time and place and point that, like, you need to get the hell out of there and you need to walk away, and you've tried so freaking much. So just know that you don't have to stay. If it's not working, you do not have to stay. You can go. But Litsea is coming in as like a complete opposite energy. She's a little fairy. She's holding coins. She's so abundant. She might be beside like a wishing well, a brick wishing well. There's a lot of water in her card. So it's all about emotions. It's all about understanding, you know, your partner's side as well as your own emotions. Like, understand how you're feeling and have empathy how they're feeling too. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes that's hard to do because we're just so self-centered, and we kind of are just, we know what we're thinking, but we don't even like pause to be like, okay, how would it be to be them? Right? Like, let's switch shoes for a little bit. Like, if we're in a grand theatrical play, which we basically are, sometimes you need to know the other characters' scripts and perspective, right? In case we decide to switch. So understand and know how they're feeling. Before I look in the book, I also just want to say that seeing the word expectations, is that like a loaded word for you? Because, like, on the one hand, you want to have good expectations for the relationship, but then on the other hand, expectations can really be, dang, like a setup. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like, it can just set you up to have a rigid image in your mind that you become unflexible about. Okay, now all our cards are coming together now. So you kind of need to, one, be more empathetic, connected to your emotions and to your heart space, okay? Because, I mean, really, it's probably better at this point in our journeys if we leave our egos, our big fat egos, out of our relationships. Why? Because the ego, as I like to sometimes call mine, ego get 'em. Egos are like ready to fight all the time. Why? Because they want to protect you. Okay? They want to protect you from getting hurt, but egos are kind of twisted in the fact that, like, they kind of almost enjoy disconnection. And, you know, they like being a victim, they like disconnection, and, like, they want you to be happy but not too happy. So I think this card for me is reminding me to get into my heart space, and to stay there where we are much nicer human beings. Maleluka is also has a message about protection too. So it's not that we want to get ourselves in situations that are, emotionally, physically, spiritually depressing or abusive. Like we do need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. But Maleluko is also saying like you can get through this hardship. Like, yeah, but you might need to clear your circle, and you may definitely need to clean your aura and your energy field, because you are attracting your relationships to you, whether they're any type of relationships, friendships, your lover, your family, like business. You and your energy are attracting and influencing everything. So it's time to quit pointing the finger, quit blaming, and take responsibility to clean up your own energetic act. And then, it's like, and then the solution will come to us. All right, so let me look in the book. That's pretty good insight on my part. Clearly, I've gotten the Maleluka card before. Yeah. Yeah, it is really time. Like hashtag no more fake friends, no more fake lovers. Like, that's, I think, why this book attracted me so much. Like, aren't you just so done with ego sex? Really? Okay, so the wise words from Litzia is, it's an unknown quote, but it was inspired by William Shakespeare. It says, expectation is the root of all heartache. Yeah, that was the vibe I got too. Like, think about even like as a kid, you had like expectations for like the ultimate birthday party. And then it just wasn't. And then you're like so bummed. And so we do that as adults too. We get it in our mind that like it should go a certain way, this or that. And then we just set ourselves up for disappointment. So Litzia is also known as Mei Chang. It's a native to China or Indonesia, Taiwan, that kind of Southeast Asia. It has a lemon scent, so mosquitoes don't like it, which is pretty cool that it came in with Maleluka. Like as we're trying to like get rid of the snakes and the spiders in our life, let's get rid of the blood-sucking mosquitoes too. And I'm saying that like referring to people. Like there are just some people that take and take and take, right? Like you just do it all. Like no, it's time to receive. Like who was that said that? Manuka. It's time to allow and get some help. You don't have to do it all. So anyways, Litzia is very calming, and she's this sweet little fairy, little goddess, little deva. So this is what she wants us to know. Here's our solution. Loud and clear. Litzia encourages letting go of resentment. Yeah, let go of the resentment. It's like poison in your mind. Yeah, because sometimes we do just expect way too much. And that, like I said, could lead to disappointment or even worse, heartache. Like relationships end, but the ones that that haunt you forever is like the ones that were so disappointing. You're like, but I thought it could be so good, right? And then it just like kills you forever. So it says when one expects nothing, it can be easier to cope and flow. Just flow with life. You don't have any expectations, so there's just a lot less stress. You don't have to feel like you need to manipulate everything to go a certain way. It says sometimes we even get stuck into thinking persistence is needed, that the person one day will realize their feelings and reward us. However, this can create not only a long-lasting broken heart, but also an inability to forgive and let go. So, yep, that's the most popular F word I'm hearing every time I turn around is forgiveness. Yeah, that is the name of the game. Because when we let go, when we forgive, when we put down our resentments, we allow space for things to come by effortlessly. We allow good things to flow into our life. So Litzia is definitely saying, remember, do not put yourself last, okay? Because you need to meet your own needs before you can satisfy anyone else's desires. And that's the book that I'm reading, you guys, Making Love to God, the one that I didn't want to take to the playground. But I might. After I finish it, this book might wow me so much, I may read it publicly. Like, yeah, I love this book. But that's what it's saying. Like, you have to be a whole person. You have to get your energy into alignment. You have to connect within. You have to connect to Source and God if you're going to feel like a whole person on this earth. So Litzia is very soothing, okay? If you do have you're expecting too much, it's going to help soothe you. It wants you to trust in the universal laws, okay? What we put out, we get back. So let's trust in this. If things are not going right in your relationship, trust that if you start bettering yourself, improving yourself, loving yourself, healing yourself, uplifting yourself, raising your vibration, being positive, forgiving, letting go of judgment, releasing resentments, focusing on beautiful things, you will help this relationship. And not only that, but every aspect of your life, because you're going to be a vibrational match to better things. So Litzia teaches us that good will come in many ways, and but she's also saying that help will not always come from the hand that you've helped. So when we give, let's give without expectation. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Give without expectation. So here's the divination meaning. She is a beautiful little fairy. Kind of reminds you of like Lemon Balm, Melissa, like maybe the fairy that you'd find there. She's got these big gold coins, right, symbolizing abundance. Abundance when we are in the right frame of mind. So if we're having any type of shortage in our life, love, affection, money, fun, that is a red flag that says you're not in the right state of mind to receive it. So you got some work to do. So there is that waterfall behind her, cascade. That's going to symbolize movement, which we've been talking about all along, just like the Siberian fur. Get up on that damn horse. It's time to move. But this is more of an emotional, energetic movement. Okay? And she's sitting by that wishing well. And so it's like, make a wish. What do you want? What do you want to make happen in your life with your energy? Not that you're going to force it or be controlling or overpowering like Fennel. You're going to allow it to unfold naturally. So yeah, get in the state of receiving, allow it to flow, and tell yourself, I am capable and deserving. I am capable and deserving. I can let go of any expectation as infinite abundance flows through me. So that is just such a beautiful message. I wish that would have been like our final card, but it's not. It's Maleluka, right? So it's like, yes, get into that receiving mode, clean up your energy. And that's what Maleluka is saying too, like clean up your aura. You need to think good thoughts and also remove some of the negative influences. If this is a negative relationship, walk away, right? You don't need to allow toxic people in your life anymore. okay? If it just don't feel good, you just need to walk. It really does. Because Maleluka says, if this card came into your reading, it is because you have been too nice and too naive with people who don't deserve your beautiful vibes. It's time to clear your circle of friends, respect yourself, and create a new environment that is going to resonate more with who you truly are. So, yeah, he is definitely saying cleanse your aura, okay? Smell some tea tree, smell some Maleluka, and yeah, give yourself a good shower and allow all your bad vibes to go down the drain, right? Like either visualize it or do it with the intention that I am showering off all my bad vibes and say, I release things that no longer serve me. I release them easily and effortlessly. So, dang, that's all I need to read from that card. That was like good enough. Yeah, the message is clear today. You guys, do what you need to do to get your energy clear, get your vibe up, admit to yourself that you have played a part in creating this problem. But hello, that's great news. Like, if you helped create the problem, then you can solve the problem. Like, that's the power in it, knowing and understanding that you create your reality. Like, you look at everything and you say, I created this. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's just embarrassing shit that you created. But when you know that you did it, then you're like, okay, I create my life, I create my reality, and I can create better. I'm gonna manifest better now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we clear out our energy. We let go of the snakes and spiders and mosquitoes and toxic people with love. It don't have to be drama. Because when you raise your vibration, those people are just going to drop out of your circle anyways. It's just going to like all of a sudden everyone's going to ghost you, but it wasn't for any reason other than you raised your vibration and they just couldn't hang with you. So I hope you loved these cards. Yeah, definitely swing on over to Herb Oracle. I'll have the pictures up. This was a great message. This is definitely a message about relationship rescue. And yeah, rescue yourself first. Okay, so that wraps up our morning hangout. Thank you so much. It's such a good reminder to go with the flow. Hey, it's a nice heads up that changes are coming. I love it when the changes in life are positive and for the better. So yeah, go with the flow. And speaking of flow, give yourself permission to allow the creative energy of the universe to flow through your body because it feels so good. It feels so good. So yeah, the only downfall about having a morning show is that is in the morning, and my throat sounds like I just woke up. But a little trick that I like to do to get my voice warmed up is to say positive affirmations. So anyways, just wanted to mention that. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot for every morning. We'll see. If not, So yeah, if you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to come on over to Herb Oracle. Check out the pics. Tell me you loved it. And if you just happen to stumble across this one and you didn't know that I had Herbal Marie, be sure to connect with me there as well. So much love to you. And here's to relationship rescue.
Oh my God, that was exhausting for me. That was exhausting for me. All right, so I got one episode updated that description that I had for that podcast was so inadequate. So that's okay. It was my first podcast. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. And like I didn't even understand like where my relationship was at that point. Like my cards were like totally calling me out. Um, I think like I ended that relationship. I think I ended that podcast. Freudian slip there. I think I ended that podcast like after I pushed done. I was like, what did I just unleash? What Pandora's box did I just open? Because it was very clear to me, like this podcast, Herb Oracle, wasn't gonna play around. Like it was like, oh, good morning, Spirit is here. You're hardly awake, and we're just gonna give it out. So that wasn't like my best podcast, but for the very first one, that was good. That was good. I feel completely overwhelmed right now though, thinking like how much work that was to sit still and listen to myself. So like I'm adding up all the hours and how long it will take me to get through these podcasts, and I'm a little bit like daunted for sure. So at least if I do like 2 a day, that will give me a nice maybe break. But I don't know. It's weird because last night I sat down I was in my bed, and I always brainstorm sometimes before I go to sleep, like what ideas are ready to come in. And there was so many new ideas for the podcast Herb Oracle. I was like, why are you giving my ideas for the next season already? Like I haven't even done this updating work yet. But Spirit, I don't know, that's what Spirit does to me. So these were, went through the deck and found the cards. That was interesting. To look back and see them. I don't know if I'll be able to do that every time. Probably. I put why not, because there's nothing else for me to do here while I'm sitting. So I definitely updated the description. Like I literally only had one line of like all I said the very first day was, oh, I guess it's time to confront the dysfunctional relationship, ... Good morning. That was my description. So now I've updated it with like a few paragraphs of questions, maybe like to contemplate or journal. Like I'm not like labeling them journaling prompts, but like that's what they are. They're to get people to think. Low energy, like low self-esteem can be detrimental to relationships. I go into that in the description. So I just gave it a proper description. Then I also linked to the Instagram page, but not the specific page. I'm not doing that. Like find it or don't find it, I don't care. The book that I recommend everyone reading by Tina Louise Spalding. It's good. It's really, all her books are good. I have all of her books. I linked to her page, and then I linked to this deck. So there, I did all the proper things to do, and then I think I also linked to, the last link was support this podcaster, and then I linked to my Patreon page. Although there's a way to do listener support right through Anchor Radio too, but I think they put in that automatically. I don't think I have to put that in again. If not, it don't matter. It don't even matter. So that is that. So now what I'm going to do is I have to update the images on Instagram. I have to make a thumbnail, and then also put, like everything that I just wrote there, publish on my Facebook page for Herb Oracle. Should I put a Facebook page link? I don't know. That's a good idea. Thank you for that. Maybe I should pimp out Facebook, even though I wish I could not be on Facebook. I don't like it. I don't actually really like it at all. But that's a good idea. Like maybe put in Herb Oracle's Facebook page. Let me see if I can find it even. Facebook. Would it just be // Herb Oracle? Does they give me that? They do. All right, that's good. That is my page. Okay, that's my page. Facebook.com/herb oracle. That's probably a good thing to put in here too. I don't know. So anyways, that's my boring live stream. That's what I'm going to do all the damn time. Alright, I'll add in the Facebook page too. Like, I'm just going to, while I'm here, I don't know if I want to do anything else, so let me see here. Oh yeah, hey Tanya, good morning. I guess just Facebook. Oh yeah, ask away. And then but I am glad I'm doing this, but I'm just like completely overwhelmed by how much work it actually entails. So I'm like curious why I have to, but like I guess I have to go. Oh yeah, go ahead and ask a question. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then so I have to make not the thumbnail. Oh, maybe I do have to make a thumbnail for this live stream. What changes are coming for me in love in December 2019? My gosh, what changes are for everybody? So what we just listened to, the podcast that we just listened to, Relationship Rescue 001, I believe that you do create your own reality. I really do. So a lot of times I always steer away by giving people forecasts or but the questions that like we were just asking is like, what changes are coming for you in love? Well, what have you been investing in? Do you know what I mean? Are you even actually focused on love? That's the question to ask yourself. Like, because a lot of times we're in a relationship or we're not, and it's like, are you even focused on love and loving, or are you being like in defensiveness, complaining, disappointment, looking for the worst? It's like, if you want to know what's coming, it's like, look at yourself right now. Where are you even at? What have you been sowing? Not like a sewing machine, but like sowing seeds. What has been going on? The podcast that we just listened to, Relationship Rescue, the best thing I liked about it was it's like, just give your relationship time, the space, and everyone will show their true colors. And that's what I did in mine. So are you in a relationship right now? I can pull you a card. I can pull you a card and just see what it says. But see, I think like with everyone's forecast for love, I really feel like if it's not in our highest good, it's going to not work out. You know what I mean? And I see that you're not in a relationship right now. So you have to go at it as if like, are you a vibrational match to love? Are you like someone, but we are not communicating? Well, that might be a red flag, right? Because it's like some of these relationships are just so 3D and so pathetic. It's like, why would you even want it in your life? Oh, because you're on distance. Like actually physically distance. Because you can have communication whether you're in the same room, across the country. If it's a good match or not. But let me pull you a card. Yeah, I'm not like I am definitely do not consider myself a psychic in any way, because I know how fluid and malleable reality is. 2 different countries. Yeah, that makes it very hard to kiss each other. you can put it out there, but like, I don't really like long distance relationships because I enjoy kissing. I mean, doesn't that make it like so like undoable kind of? But if you're so drawn to this person, if you feel really drawn to them, so let me just pull a card for Tanya here, or let me just chuck one on the floor for you. Where did it even go? Oh my gosh, I have to actually get up and walk around my desk. So cards fell out for you. They literally threw themselves on the other side of my desk. So I'll be back. All right. Wow. So what kind of energy was that? Okay, so the first card, you actually got 1, 2, 3 cards, chucked themselves. Literally, they shot out under my desk to the carpet rug on the other side. So the first card that I see, the only card that I see right now, because I didn't even peek at the other ones, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what flew out for you, is cilantro. So this is a card about change. This is also a card about, if you think about what cilantro does in your body, it removes metals, it removes toxicity, it's very alkalizing, like it cleans you out. Like if you have any type, and you're blonde, oh my God, so that's like literally you, right? So this is also about freedom though. So that's an interesting question for you, because you've attracted a relationship or attraction or potential bond with somebody who's very far away. So that to me would tell me, in your subconscious mind, do you hold any strong convictions or issues about freedom? Because it's kind of like those guys that are always attracted to married women. There's something about that they keep doing that because they know on some level they can't have them, because they actually don't want to be in a relationship. They want to be free. So I would sort of just question yourself a little bit, like why am I attracted to someone who I literally can't have? Do I have something underlying that in my subconscious about freedom? But your question was, what changes are coming for you in love in December 2019? And you literally got the card that is all about changes. So something's going to change. It's either going to start feeling better. Something's going to change with this one in particular. Like you'll either let him go or find a way to make it work more, or somebody else is going to come in. Let me see what the other cards are. Okay, so what's your next card is Pettigrain with judgment and trustworthiness. So yeah, it's really hard to trust somebody when they're on the other side of the world or even an hour away. I mean, so it's like there's an issue of trustworthiness coming in. Yeah, I mean, you can't really, I don't think long distance relationships work. That's just my personal opinion. Because it's not really a relationship. It's just one that you basically have in your head. You know, it's not like really in your life. And then, yeah, it does bring out sometimes the worst in you. Like if you never had any issues with judgment before, or suspicion or trustworthiness, it's like suddenly that could be, even if you had a little bit of it, like suddenly it's triggered. You're like, oh my God, like why am I being so suspicious? And it's like, yeah, because like you're not actually with the person, you can't see the person, you're not sure what they sometimes mean, like with your communication, like because things are not interpreted correctly through text messages, emails, even on the phone sometimes. Like it's just not the same, because it's like sometimes things need to be said and then a hug needs to be given, you know. So that's your second card, judgment and trustworthiness. It's like that to me says you better maybe watch out. Let's see what your third card is. Okay, so you definitely are gonna have something move. Your third card is Rosemary, evolution and movement. She is so powerful. I really hope that this is how you end December. Solid, secure, confident, um, evolving into something more of who you are. You know, there she is. Like, she has to make a decision now which way she wants to go. So I think bottom line, it's like make sure you're making all your decisions like, what is in my highest good? What is best for me? Like, if you're just like, if it's like a relationship that's just kind of giving you something to do in your mind through December, it is a good distraction. But at some point, it's like, well, if it's never going to happen, if no one's going to relocate or move, um, it's like maybe it's time to just sort of be open to something else, lighting my fancy. So, anyways, those are your three cards that chucked out. And she's blonde too, so that's fun. So you got the blonde bikini cilantro with changes and freedom. Now, this Pettigrain little elf, he is a little bit of a troublemaker, but it's all like for the good. Like he's part of the community. You can depend on him, but he will stir things up, just to sort of have fun, and kind of, I don't know, make a little trouble for you. But like sometimes trouble's fun. But ultimately, you'll be finishing December in a really evolved place. So I mean, even look, it went from like young blonde, um, like like just at the beach, a little troublemaker having fun. But look at the evolution, queen. So that's your, if there's such a thing as a forecast, it's like the decisions that you make this month could put you in a place of like really being the queen of your life. And you know what? You don't need anybody else to do that. You don't actually need a king to be a queen. And so it is. Oh my gosh. So if you missed it, this book could maybe definitely help you get yourself. This is by Tina Louise Spalding. It's called Making Love to God. It's the most embarrassing title of a book I've ever had on my shelf. Just ridiculous, but it was so good to read. I'm going to read it again someday. And it really helps you clean up what you think about love and what love is, for you to do for you. And it's like, why do we even think we need anybody? So you're welcome. I loved your cards, and I love that they threw themselves out too. Like, that to me is a really valid expression of force and energy, and yeah, things are going to change. So just tell the universe, I am open to learning the lesson that I'm supposed to learn with this, and I'm also open for you bringing in some higher energies. And I am also open to love. I think that's a lot of us right now. Like, we're open to love, but it better be worth it. It better be worth our time, and just don't settle. And if you feel like you are settling, or that you would settle for something like lesser than you, then you have to know that that's a message to you that you need to work on your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-love. And that's what this book says too. It's like you need to love yourself first, and get that relationship with the higher energies. And anything else that comes in should be really like innocent and good. And it takes the contrast to know the difference, though. I mean, I'm very thankful for all the men humans who have come into my life, and shown me the example of what I don't want, because then that really starts to help me define the kind of king that I want to protect. Because in chess, the queen definitely protects the king if he's worth it. Pow, pow, pow. All right. So anyways, there you go. Thanks for letting me pull cards for you. Okay, so now I'm going to probably sign off, but I'm going to update my Instagram and my Facebook. So if you haven't connected with me there, please do. And I'll probably maybe do another late night work stream like this. So feel free to come in and hang out with me. It was so long today. That was so freaking long. Listening to myself talk and talk and talk.